Happy Friday, everybody. I got crud. Hopefully you do too, man. Let's get this going. We're going to talk about how the market jumped and hopefully you made some money. And of course, we're going to talk about NBA. It's Friday, so I like to spotlight, guys making moves in the city. But first, let's get to this basketball, man. This NBA action that happened last night, man. Detroit lost. That's a thumbs down to Indiana. 111-100. Phoenix beat Washington 130-123. Shea went crazy. Had 40 against Cleveland. Went up there and did his thing. They was playing fantastic ball. Portland got blew back by the Clippers 118-89. But the game of the night, last but not least, Sacramento beating Houston 132-127. I think calls really influenced the end of that game, but it was still the game of the night. They was balling. DeRozan was doing his thing on the mid-range guard tip, and Jalen Green just showing why he one of the players that's gonna be the future of the league. DeRozan had 31 in the win. Jalen Green had 28 in the loss. I think Shea went the craziest last night. But the best battle was Alfred Şengün, and the young Sabonis. They had a double-double battle, but they was head-to-head really doing some big man things in a modernized game, and I liked it. I really liked it. I believe Şengün and Sabonis played on the All-Star level, but it's limited spots, and that's gonna be left up, to the criteria of the voting or whatever. So far in the West, you got Jokic, LeBron, and Durant in those top spots. So they still got two more, but they both power players. So they're gonna throw some wings in there. On the guard side of the game, of course, it's Shea up top. He probably is the best guard in the league right now. I mean, it's a good. You can't argue. You could, just for the sake of arguing, but you really can't argue with the man's work thus far, and for the past 3 years. He's been averaging 30 for the past 3 years, so that's sick. He the number one guard on the West as far as vote getting. And then you got Steph and Luka, who only played about 6 games this year. But the Luka Magic sells tickets. He's going to always get those votes, and he got that game too. But he's most likely going to have to give his spot up if he stays hurt. On the East, front court, Giannis, Tatum, and Cat are the 3 guys in the front court as far as leading vote getters. Well deserved for all three of them balling hard as hell. The guards is young Melo, Spider, and Lillard. Now, this is where you can have all types of conversations, because you know how I feel about it. Detroit basketball. Cade need to be right there. You can slide whoever you want to out of the way. Those 3 guys on marquee, and they, hold it up. Mitchell barely lost this season. LaMelo is averaging 30. Now, it's arguable, and I'm leaning all the way towards Cade. But see, Lillard got that track record, that name recognition, just a marquee guy. But I believe Cade should be in that spot, in one of those top 3 spots. But, he coming off that atrocious record last year, and he, damn near averaging a triple-double. And that's just how I feel about it. He's definitely going to be in there, despite what Shaq was talking about last night on NBA Tonight, on the NBA TNT show or whatever. I don't believe that. Now, let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. The market's going up. They doing what I predicted they were going to do. They're going to take a drop. They're going to go up, but it's not through dropping yet. It's going to drop. It's going to do the seesaw all the way to the Trump inauguration. Then a little bit around the Trump inauguration, it's going to rise, especially that crypto. I advise you to get some Hedera, some H-bar. And that's the last time I'm going to advise it, man. I told you about the DAG, you know what I'm saying? And I still don't know all the acronym. What's the D in the DAG? You feel what I mean? You know what I mean? I know it's acrylic graph, but I can't remember the D part. But know that major money makers loves the DAG, and it's a crypto called DAG. It's called, that's the ticker, DAG, D-A-G. But the crypto's name is Constellation, and they on that list I told you about. The last Wake and Bake we had, you know, about the group called the ISO 2022. Group of rich financiers, money makers, bankers, and everything. They got to keep progressing the way the money flows, and they picked a certain amount of cryptocurrencies that had a certain criteria that could handle this DAG, this DLT technology that has it already in they place. XRP, XLM, Quant, Hedera, Chainlink. One I just mentioned, Constellation, DAG as a ticker. And there's a couple others that I just can't name off a hand because my nerd game ain't really all that. We in them trenches. And that's a fact. But you score note those cryptocurrencies and keep you some Bitcoin in the front, and you are going to jump. It don't even have to be anything fancy about it. Every cryptocurrency I name is a layer 1, not a layer 2. So you really don't have to even deal with ETH in that situation. But I suggest that you do deal with ETH, because ETH ain't going nowhere. ETH is literally the digital oil. And Solana is like kerosene. So it ain't going nowhere either. It's kerosene and propane. Solana is like kerosene and propane, man. It ain't going nowhere. The reason why I say that, because they look utility coins. And the way the big wigs and nerds went up to the SEC and you know, whatever court they needed to go to prove that they were not a security. They were a commodity. They say because just like oil, this stuff has to burn for the blockchain to run, period. They okayed Ethereum. They're like, all right, we feel you. And then turned around and did the opposite to XRP. But we all know that it was, you know, people that had interest in Ethereum that did that. And all it's fair when it's coming to my bread. Remember that line. All is fair when it's coming to my bread, man. And that's how they play. That's really play to win. And they really put the boots to XRP for a while. But as we all know, that's switched. And now XRP is jumping. The diehard believers that said, I don't care what you saying about it, you got to eventually let it go. They were right. And they accumulated for years. The smart ones did. I have a miniature dunce cap on. I accumulated too, but you know, life be lifing. So what was the first to go? The stuff that was strifing. But I still kept a little, you know, very little. Nowhere near as much as I wish I could, that I did, but it ain't over. Because it's going all the way up. It's just starting for that. It's the beginning of that assets odyssey. You understand me? So, you right now Bitcoin probably at about 104 while I'm saying this. It's gonna go up some more, but it's about to drop again. Remember what I told you the last session we had? Things are gonna drop. Um, stocks that went down, like quantum computing stocks that went down, they went all the way down and they shot up. Had people like, man, I should have just stuck with it. Uh, the same thing with this crypto. Bitcoin might go up to 110 and shoot back down to like 96. Then Trump get back up in there and, they do something that we never seen before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make Trump like he's the pale savior or anything like that. But I'm just going off of how I see the market move, And right now, it did it sideways and this little dip, and it might do a little more funny action. But when he get in there, it might do an extreme jump because they got a lot of stuff working in the background, And speaking of Trump, he's very pro crypto, and I'll give you one more. He is really interested in a few cryptocurrencies. His regime wants American-based cryptocurrencies to flourish, but he is particularly interested in one called ONDO, ONDO. He's so interested in it, the interest got down here to the trenches. I didn't look that up. It just got down to me like, yeah, Trump into ONDO. So I'm telling you, Trump into ONDO, And that's pretty much our session for today. Outside of, usually on a Friday, I prop up who making those moves in the scenes. But in the city, it ain't been slow, but the weather has been really cold and frigid. It'll be some activities going on this weekend. So all I'm doing right now is shouting out the young grinders that gets it in on a daily basis. When I'm talking about real young street generals on the rise, man. I'm talking about Mike Page. I'm talking about Shotty Cash. I'm talking about Snap Dog, man. These young men, they got movements, and they got soldiers, and they got people that believe in them, and I believe in them. And check them out. I'll try to find some links, but Cheff is digitally lazy, and I'm breaking out of it, so you might not even see them bad boys. But remember them 3 names I just named. Mike Page, 200. Shotty Cash. And y'all all know Snap Dog. He's a grinder on a different level than me, man, because he hit a lot of different angles, and he stayed moving. Mike Page is probably the most versatile rapper in the city. MC, rap, produce. He do it all. He do it all. And Shotty Cash is just a young up and comer that got a very, very strong movement. And that's the session today, because my joint keep going out on camera, and that's not the wave, man.